Welcome children. Today we are going to learn partnership. So unit 6. Unit 5. Already in last video we saw the joint Hindu undivided family. So this is a continuation of 5th chapter. Joint Hindu family and partnership. So today we are going to learn the partnership form. So partnership form of organization is an extension of sole proprietorship, because there is a lack of flop in the sole proprietorship form of business. One thing is less capital, another thing is less managerial ability. So single person cannot provide that much ability and cannot concentrate that much managerial ability and other things. Even risk, lot of risk is there. So if risk, he only taken all the risk of the firm, and growth and expansion also is very tough. So if you want to expand your business or extend your business, it's very tough in sole proprietorship business, because single person cannot able to manage many branches and other things. So definitely you need a huge amount of capital for expansion and extension, and huge people is needed to control over the business. So many disadvantages in sole proprietorship. So this is an extension for sole proprietorship. In order to overcome these drawbacks, one more business unit is needed. That business is called a partnership firm. So partnership firm, simply if you want to say partnership, means two or more person join together and do the business. So two or more person contribute their capital and they start a business for earning a profit. Every business, the main purpose is starting business is earning a profit only. So the aim of partnership firm to overcome all the drawbacks of sole proprietorship business. So generally when sole trader find it's difficult to handle the problem of growth and expansion, and he take a partner. So that only it is the expansion of sole proprietorship form of business only. So simple word, two or more person join together and do a business is called a partnership firm. So the partner who enter in partnership are called individually. If you call partners individually, each partners we called as a partner of the firm. Collectively, if you called all the partners, we called a firm, partnership firm. So definition of partnership firm according to Professor Haney, the relationship which exists between person. So this is a relationship which exists between the person competent to make a contract. This relationship come into existence because of the contract. Okay, they agree to carry on lawful business. All the partners are agree to carry on lawful business, not unlawful business. So with a common view of gain more profit. So that the partnership come into existence. Okay, so it is an agreement between the partners. So agreement between partners to carry a lawful business. So that is a partnership. This definition is given by Professor Haney. Then we are going to see the characteristics of partnership. What are the characteristics, features of partnership? So certain things, certain character, based on that only we have to say this is a partnership. So that is a feature. So contractual relationship. So partnership is created in previous definitions also explained. It come into existence between a partner to make a contract. So it is a contractual relationship between the partners. A partnership is result an agreement which may be oral or written. So it is a contractual relationship. The contract may be oral or written, but contract is essential for the partnership firm. So it is a contractual relationship. So contract is essential for partnership firm. Contract either may be oral or written. Then plurality of person. Since partnership is the outcome of agreement, the minimum member is required to form a partnership firm. So minimum person is required to form a partnership firm. Minimum 10 in case of banking business. If you want to start a banking business, minimum you need a 10 partners. Then other business you need a 20 partners. Minimum 2, maximum 10 in case of banking. So minimum 2 person is needed for starting a banking business, maximum 10 in case of banking and 20 in case of other banking business. So minimum is 2, maximum 10 in case of banking business. 10% if you have a 10 partner, then only you can able to start a banking business. Other business you need a 20 partners. So that is a maximum and minimum number of partnership. Then existence of business. Partnership agreement must be carry on lawful business on the profession. If there is no business, there can be no partnership. So in other words, partnership is not a club or a charitable association. Partnership, so existence of business. Partnership is an agreement must be carry on lawful business. They mean to existence for carrying a lawful business. If you are for doing a business only, they 2 or more person are joined and the partnership come into existence. So if there is no business, there can be no partnership firm. You want to do a business, otherwise if you are not doing a business, then there is no partnership firm. Then sharing of profit. So the business must carry on the view to earn a profit and share it among all the partners. Any business, they are starting a business is for earning a profit. So partnership also, they starting a business for earning profit. These profit are share among all the partners. So mutual agency. In fact, mutual agency is the essence of partnership. Since the business is to be carried on by all or any of them acting for all, each partner acts simultaneously as principal and agent. So all the partners are equal in the partnership form. So any of them acting for all the partners, or all the partners are acting together. So simultaneously they work together, and all the persons are principal and agent. All the person act as a principal as well as the agent of the firm. So mutual agency, mutual understanding is essential for the partnership firm, because various people are joined together and they're doing a business. So here the mutual understanding is most important part of a partnership firm. So business is carried on by all the partners or any of them acting for all. Very few of them acting for other persons. So each and every person act as a principal, and sometimes they act as an agent also. So to the outsider he is a principal, while to the other partner he is an agent. So next, these are all the characteristics. First one is a contractual relationship. So it is created by the contractual relationship. Contract must be oral or written. Then plurality of person. Minimum 2 person is needed to start a partnership firm. Maximum 10 in case of banking, 20 in case of other banking business. Existence of business. Why it come into existence? A sense for doing a business, that business should be a lawful business. Okay. Then sharing of profit. So intention for starting a partnership firm is earning profit. So the share of profit, they share the profit among all the partners. Then mutual agency, mutual understanding is very much important for a partnership firm, because various people are joined together and doing a business. Mutual agency is the essence for partnership. So since all the partners carried on the business, or any of them acting for all, so they simultaneously act as a principal as well as the agent. So outsider, he is a principal, all the partners are principal, and within the partners they are the agent. So next one is advantage. Advantage. What are the advantage of partnership firm? Easy formation. You can easily form. Formation is very easy. Formation of partnership firm require fulfillment of less legal formalities than other type of organization. So compared to sole proprietor and partnership, less amount of legal formalities. So there is no legal, not much more legal formalities is required to start a partnership firm. What required is just an agreement, which can be oral or written. So agreement is essential. Agreement is essential. Either agreement may be oral or written. So registration of partnership is optional. Either you can register your partnership firm, or you can, if you don't want to wish to register, you cannot register your partnership firm. That's wish to the partners. Further, even if firm want to get itself registered, the registration process is very simple. Registration process also very simple. It depending upon the partners. If they are willing, they can register their firm. If they are not willing, they can't able to register their firm. So that is a easy formation. So very simple and less legal formalities to form a partnership firm. And availability of large resources, combine capital of all the partner and together borrowing capacity make available large financial resources. Because think partnership, sole proprietorship, he is a single person, so single person cannot afford much more capital to start a medium scale business and large scale business. If you think two or more person are joined together and they provide a capital, each person provide a capital, it become a huge amount we can get a huge amount of capital. So large resources is possible. Even a borrowing capacity also high, because if all the person are getting they borrow money, in the sense they are getting a high fund. So borrowing capacity also very high, and it is possible to get a more and a huge amount of capital. Then benefit to consultation, two head are better than one. So in sole trader, he only whatever the decision he want to make, he only take himself. So you sometimes it's chance to lead to take a wrong decision. But if in case if two or more person join together and do the business, there is a chance for discussion, taking decision. So two head better than one head. So while decision can be possible when an issue and subject matter are truly discussed within the partners, so there is no place for hasty decision. So that is one of the advantage of partnership firm, because all the partners are sit and discuss their main discussion about any important decision. So that is one of the benefit and advantages to the partnership firm. So division of work and greater managerial efficiency. So division of work and greater managerial efficiency. The staggering load of management work can be judicially distributed among the partners according to the experience, knowledge and taste. That means the enormous burden of management. Staggering is a burden of management. Tasks can be fairly distributed among the partners according to their experience, knowledge and taste. So if sole trader, he only bear all the burden of the business. Okay, so there is no chance for sole proprietorship. So he is a single person. See, he only take all the loaded. So if it is a partners, more partners is in a partnership firm. So the enormous burden of management tasks can be fairly distributed among the partners based on their experience, knowledge and taste. So this will lead a effective management. So when the burden is lightened, supervision by each partner over the allocated area of management become effective and efficient. So if you allocated their job, they can do their efficiency and effectively they can finish their work. So the burden also lightened and supervision by each partner is possible, and we can allocate the area of management. So some people are very talented and skilled in management area. Some person are talented in financial area. Based on their skills and ability, if you are allocated the work, so they can do effectively and efficiently. So that is the division of work. Then reduce risk. The risk of each partner is reduced considerably since the loss sustained by the firm is shared by all the partners. So here, if it is a partnership firm, he only bear all the losses. Whatever the losses, he only face all the losses. For example, 20 lakh loss, in the sense all the 20 lakhs he only bear. So if you take a partnership firm, if the firm is face a 20 lakh or 10 lakh loss, in the sense, or for example 5 partners, in the sense all the 5s are share the losses. So if you compare to sole proprietor, he only bear all the entire loss. If you take a partnership, all the partners are sharing the loss. So it's sustained by the firm and share all the partners. So considerably the risk will reduce. Then unlimited liability and credit standing. So here also unlimited liability is there. The liability of partners is unlimited, and the creditor may give more loan because they can get back their loan from the personal property of the partnership. So creditor is willing to give more loans to the partner because he is right to take back their loan amount. If the person is not paying, then he can take back the loan amount from the personal property of the partners. So the unlimited liability is one of the advantage. Safeguard of minority interest. For all the vital matter, anonymous content of each partner's record. If there is no anonymity, such decision are not accepted. So majority interest is given. So majority partners are accepted only they can take a decision. So if you are getting a minority, then they leave the decision and not accept the decision. So that is a safeguard of minority interest. So that is one of the things. So if major number of partners are accepted only, they can do anything. So if less partners are accepted, they leave all the decisions. So such a decision are not accepted. So that is one of the advantage of partnership firm. And easy decision. So in case of partnership at will, 14 days notice dissolution, easy dissolution. Dissolution means you can end up the partnership firm. If you don't want to continue the partnership firm, you can give a notice to the partnership firm before 14 days. So 14 days notice given by partners. The consent is enough. No legal hurdles is there for dissolution of firm. No legal formalities is required to dissolve the firm. So if you don't want to continue the firm, you can send a 14 days notice to the partners with the consult of consult with other personnel. So these are all some advantages of partnership firm. Next disadvantage, lack of harmony. After a few years of working, friction and disharmony may creep in. So definitely, so two or more persons in the sense various people are joined together. So they are not friends, they are not family members, they are not friends. So for doing a business only, they are joined together. So after a few years, anything happened to the partnership firm. So always the friction and disharmony is happened to the partnership. So this mutual conflict and lack of team spirit pave the way of dissolution of firm. For this is one of the reason to dissolve the partnership firm. Many partnership because of these only they dissolve. So definitely their the opinion and thoughts may change person to person. So this may lead to spoil the team spirit. For this is one of the reason for dissolution of partnership firm. So lack of harmony. Then absence of legal status and instability. Partnership firm has no separate legal existence. It is inseparable from the partners composing it. As a result of its terminable on the death, insolvency of partner. Absence of legal status. So partnership firm has no separate legal existence. There is no separate legal existence is there. So as a result of this, it terminable on death or insolvency of partner. If any death or insolvency means they are not able to pay the debt amount. So this may lead to insolvent and terminable death and insolvent of partner. Absence of legal status is one of the disadvantage. So there is no separate legal existence. That is one of the most important disadvantage. Then limited resources. So maximum number of partnership firm is 10 in case of banking, 20 in case of other. So actual practice number will be below this number because need of ensuring harmonious working. So limited resources only. So if all the partners, we don't say all the partners are provide that much capital. Someone provided less capital, someone provide a huge capital. So limited resources only we can get. So if you want to minimum 2% is needed, 10 in case of banking business. So all the 10 or 10% even they contribute a capital, this is not enough to start a banking business and other business. So limited managerial resources, one of the disadvantage. Then limited risk taking. In view to the danger of unlimited liability, partners tend to overactions. So normally unlimited liability, sometimes they lose their personal property. So this is one of the disadvantage. So it automatically give a fear to all the partners. If for example for three partners are there, so three partners there, two partner work effectively, one partner is not working effectively. For that, if they face loss in the sense, all the other three partner or the other two partners also they're facing the losses. Sometimes they also losing their personal property. So that is one of the highest disadvantage in partnership firm. Limited risk taking, risk of implied authority. Every partner can bind the firm and his other partner by his act. Therefore, all the partners become liable together extent because of folly and fraud committed by fellow partner. Risk of implied authority. Risk of implied authority. So implied authority means, risk of implied authorities means every partner can bind the firm. Bind the firm in the sense every partner they bind the firm and his other partner by his act. Act means for their action. That means their working capacity and other things. So every partner they try to bind the firm and his and other partners by his act. So if any one partner do any mistake, this will affect all other partners also. So some innocent partners also will affect from other partners act. So this is a risk implied authority. So indirectly other persons also will affect it. So therefore all the partner become a liable and great extent because of folly and fraud committed by fellow partner. If any one partner they commit a fraud or doing anything, that will affect all other partner also. That is a risk of implied authority. So if for example 5 partners there, if any one partner do any commit any fraud or anything, that will affect other 4 partner also. So that is a risk of implied authority. Risk of limited risk taking in the sense sometimes they lose their personal property. That is a difference between a limited risk taking and risk of implied authority. This one is that sometimes they are going to lose their personal property. So that is because of unlimited liability. But risk of implied authority is if anyone commit any fraud or anything, it will affect other all partners also. So that is a difference between these two. Lack of public confidence. Account need not be audited and published. It hack public confidence because registration is not compulsory. Either if you want you can register, if you don't want to register, you don't want to, you can't able you are not registered your firm. So it's a wish of the partners. So if they wish they can register, if they don't wish they didn't register their partnership firm. So auditing is not compulsory in case of partnership firm. If it is a registered firm, definitely they must be audit their accounts. Auditing is essential for the registered company. So it is sometimes the company is not registered, so the account need not be audited and published to the public. So it is a lack of public confidence. So if it is audit and it show to the public, that you can get a public confidence. So public believe your company, they are ready to not ready, they're ready to buy your product and they're ready to invest the amount likewise. So account need not be audited so that it lack of public confidence. So